You know, they say there's a book in all of us. Some books are novels, some books are practical, some books are educational. But what does it take to become a published author? I'm going to meet some people who hope to go from never writing a book in their lives to becoming a published author in just 12 weeks. To help them is author, publisher and book midwife Mindy Gibbins-Klein, who is helping ordinary people like you and I to become published authors. So what is the process? And what's the best way to write a book? Let's go and see how the potential authors, who are all professional people in their own way, set about the task.
The course was great. It was really useful from a number of points of view. First of all, it was an interesting bunch of people that were on the course. Motivated people, keen to get published and write their book. And then there were a number of key things that Mindy helped with during that 2 days. I wasn't sure what to expect in advance. I might have expected, that we'd actually get stuck into doing some writing, but we didn't do any writing at all, because Mindy's approach, which I think is quite right, is to focus very much on, first of all, why are you writing your book, and then secondly, what's your audience, and thirdly, what's your message for that audience. So two key things that have hugely helped me that came out of that residential weekend.
You know, for most people, the thought of drafting a manuscript of hundreds of pages is a mammoth task on its own. But if you have to manage a career, or run a house, or bring up a family, then achieving this in the space of just 12 weeks, well, that's a feat in itself.
What I've found is that, having been on the course, I had a good structure to work to. So that's allowed me to just think in chunks rather than worry about the whole book. Mindy suggests that you have a block of time every week. I always knew that was going to be a challenge, because being an accountant there are certain deadlines that you've got to meet. You can't just say to all clients, tough, can't do your VAT return for the next 2 months because I've got other things to do. So I knew I was going to have time challenges. But like anything, if you want to do it, you make the time. Or you accept that the deadline's a little longer than it might otherwise be, because you're not putting in the time that you perhaps might like to. So what I've done with my time is, with the structure of the book, it means that I can focus on a part of it at a time.
I decided to come on the course because I thought that it could give me some additional tips in writing and help further organize my thoughts and maybe make it a faster process for the other books that I already have in mind. And I think that this is going to help me put a little bit more focus into the books and a little bit more structure and organization, which is very helpful to saving time in completing the entire book. I think the course has been helping me to get that kind of focus, and also it's made me think of things that I didn't think about before, especially in really picturing and visualizing my target market and the right audience and the true message that I want to deliver to them and providing value for them. So I think that that's been very beneficial.
I'm here on the middle of day 2 of Mindy's book writing retreat, and it's absolutely brilliant because she has a way, probably a unique way, of actually going in and getting us to take out the great powerful message that we have, to put it down on paper.
The Book Midwife is a professional service designed to support business leaders, to help raise their profiles, to make them leaders in their field. Having a good quality published book has become a strategy to attract and impress top clients. Mindy is an international businesswoman who travels the world promoting her company and using her mentoring skills for aspiring authors.
Would you meet me at my end of town, as in St. Pancras?
Travelling into town is a 20-minute train ride away from her offices in St. Albans, and today Mindy is meeting a potential client in a bar at the station. Continually mentoring and supporting aspiring authors, Mindy receives a call from another client.
Hello, Mindy speaking.
Mindy, it's Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm dying to hear about what you've done and how much you've done, and is the draft complete?
Mindy and her company have already helped over 300 entrepreneurs globally successfully write and publish their books. Many of her clients are speakers, consultants and trainers who need to raise their profile by writing and publishing good quality material.
I like seeing the books being produced. You know, we're just about to do a very special announcement about our 150th title. So there's a special promotion going on, and I think that's fantastic, and every single one of those books is special, and people have done some amazing things with them. The Association of Professional Coaches, Consultants and Trainers gave us this award, and apparently the Book Midwife is the Specialist Coach of the Year. Now, the Book Midwife, on one side, it's fantastic, bringing your ideas to life. We've always used that as our strapline. But we have a new strapline at the other company, which is so exciting. Books that change lives. And we realize that's what it's all about. It's not just about a book. We're not printers. Anybody can print a book. But the people who help authors craft a great book that changes lives, now that's quite special. The company culture, if you want to call it that, is that positive energy, encouraging people who don't quite know if they can do it and showing them how and helping them do it, and really bringing great value into the world, as I said. I tend to attract very, very good people. At the recent exhibition, we had such a good vibe on our stand. We were busy the whole time. People were just drawn to it like a moth to a flame.
I came on Mindy's course because I'd heard that she could help people like me get all the years of experience into a book, and I'm really excited about starting it. Mindy and her coaches have a great way of getting rid of the negative ideas that often stand in our way, those saboteurs that tell you you can't do something. So thanks, Mindy, and I can't wait for the launch of my book.
And today, she's been asked to speak at a conference in London.
Oh gosh, yeah, I have to go and speak at the Mermaid Theatre now, and it's exciting. Apparently they have 600 people that are there, and so I'm going from a small room with 12 people to 600.
Mindy spends several nights a week attending social events and spreading the word about writing books. Tonight is no exception. She's attending one of her earlier clients' book launches. This evening is an informal gathering at a local bar and restaurant in the home counties. Many of Mindy's other clients also come to give their support. Other book launches are a more formal affair. This evening is no exception, with lawyers and top professionals attending a launch at the Law Society in London for Caroline Newman's book, Legal Gold.
Caroline came along to start one of her books, this first one, and I'll never forget, we were doing an exercise to see if she really understood the target audience, and she was so animated. I think the word that came up before was feisty and dynamic. Absolutely. I don't know if anybody was there on that day. You were there, Susie. It was an incredible thing to watch her really getting into the role, and it was like theatre. Now, she has got plenty of training standing up in front of people, but what really spoke to me was the way she understood exactly what was needed, especially in the legal community. And I knew right then that she would write a very powerful, hard-hitting book that would help a lot of people. And those are the only kind of books that I want to be involved with.
I love the fact that, for me, the whole thing about when Mindy talks about the book Midwife, a book is a labour of love. And many people will carry that book around inside of them for an entire lifetime. And what you're saying is, just give me your time, give me your energy, and I'm going to help you give birth to that book.
One of my assistants said to me this morning when we were arranging the day, she said to me, we were talking about this event, and I was describing it to her, and she said, "Oh, is this book written for lawyers or for normal people?"